Welcome to Are You Smarter Than a Ninja? Introducing our challenger for today, Emily.
Woohoo! I'm the king some ninja butt!
Okay, Emily, as the challenger, what topic would you like to start off with today?
I'm gonna start with math!
Alright, competitors, get to your station. Here's the question. You may begin now.
Are we on a calculator?
And time's up. Let's see what we got. And the correct answer is 1. Ninja is the winner!
Oh man! I need to ask Mr. Hood how to do this, then I'll win!
See you next time, folks.
Mr. Hood, I have a question.
Oh, hi, Emily.
Well, I went on the show, Are You Smarter Than a Ninja? And there's this really hard question, and the ninja got it in like a second, and I got it wrong, but I thought I got it right.
Well, I'd love to help you. What was the question?
I don't really remember. It was like 5 factorial plus minus square root 2,659 minus like fractions and then over cos 76 all to the power of 0.
Well, that's easy. The answer is 1.
How did you know that?
Let me show you.
Okay.
Wow, Mr. Hood, that's a really funny lolcat.
Why, thank you, Emily. So let's start with the lesson today. Lesson 1, zero exponents. The zero exponent property is any quantity raised to the power of 0 equals 1. For example, 2 to the power of 0 equals 1, 1,346 to the power of 0 equals 1, and xy to the power of 0 also equals 1. We know that anything times 0 is 0, so you may be wondering, why do some things to the power of 0 equal 1? Would you like some proof? So, let's take, for example, x to the power of 0. Let's say we have the value x to the power of 3 divided by x to the power of 3. According to the division rule, we keep the same base and subtract the exponents. So that becomes x to the power of 3 minus 3. So, 3 minus 3 gives you 0, which will give you x to the power of 0. But what does this all mean? Well, we have here x times x times x divided by x times x times x, which when crossing out gives us 1 times 1 times 1, which, as you know, equals 1. Therefore, whenever we have a value to the power of 0, that is why the answer is always 1.
Oh, I get that. It's so easy. But what about when you have a negative exponent? I want to make sure that if I ever face that ninja again, I'm ready.
Well, that is a pretty simple concept also, Emily. Let me show you. So we have lesson 2, negative exponents. They are any quantity raised to the power of a negative value always equals the reciprocal of that value. For example, we have a to the power of negative n, which equals 1 divided by a to the power of n. Also, 2 to the power of negative 4 equals 1 divided by 2 to the power of 4, which simplifies to 1 divided by 16. Lastly, we have a to the power of negative 2, which equals 1 divided by a to the power of 2, which when simplified equals 1 divided by 64. So would you like some proof? Let's take, for example, x to the power of negative 2. Let's say we have the value x to the power of 2 divided by x to the power of 4. According to the division rule again, we keep the same base and subtract the exponents. So that becomes x to the power of 2 minus 4, which gives you 2 minus 4 gives you negative 2, which will give you x to the power of negative 2. But what does this all mean? So we have here x times x divided by x times x times x times x. When we cross out the x's, that leaves us with 1 divided by x to the exponent 2. In other words, whenever we have a value to the power of a negative value, that is why the answer is always a reciprocal of that value. Understand, Emily?
Mr. Hood, that makes so much sense now.
De nada, Emily. Adios, estudiante.